Subscribe to ComputerHub's channel and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Welcome to the channel ComputerHub's family. Today we will discuss about an important concept which is used in the C language, that is the data types. So now we discuss what are actually data types. Data types are basically defines the type of values which we enter into our program, that is what type of data we enter. Suppose it can be any number, or suppose 2, or it can be any alphabet, character, or a sequence of characters. So data types basically describes that particular value which will be stored under which category. So the data types, there are of two types, the primary data types and the derived data type. As the name suggests, the primary data types are the basic and they are known as the fundamental data types. In the C language, they include integer, which is commonly represented as int, the floating point, which is represented as float, the double floating point, which is represented as double, and the character, which is represented as char, and the null type, which is represented as the void. And the second category is the derived data type. Derived data types, they are nothing but they are derived from the primary data type, that is they are constructed with the help of the primary data types such as arrays, structure, union, or pointers. So basically, for example, in case of primary data type, it can be written as integer a equals to 2. This is a primary type. And similarly, derived data. Now the derived data type, suppose we have an array. Suppose there is an integer array of arr name m of size 5. So it is a derived data type. Now the data type determines the type of value which a variable will hold. Variable is nothing but an identifier having a specific name. Variable, it cannot be a keyword. Suppose if a variable x is declared as an integer, which means that the x can hold only integer values. Every variable which is used in the program must be declared as a specific data type. Now the first primitive data type we will discuss is the integer data type. Integer data type, they are basically used to store numbers without a decimal point. Integer is similar to the integers which we use in general mathematics, and the size of integer is of 2 bytes, and they are declared using the keyword integer. And example, suppose there is an integer variable a having the value 2, or we can say that a is having the value minus 2. That means integer is just similar to the integer which we use in mathematics, but it has certain limitations and certain range which we will discuss later. The second primitive data type, which is the floating point data type. The floating point data type, they are used to store real numbers, that is the numbers having decimal points, and the floating point and basically stores decimal up to 6 places of decimal. The size is of 4 bytes. The keyword which we use to declare a floating point is float. And the example, suppose there is a variable float or to a variable a of floating type a and stores the value 2.0. It can store up to 6 places of decimal. The next primary data type that we will discuss is the double floating point. That is similar to a floating data type with an extra addition that we can store the numbers up to 10 places of decimals, and the size of double is twice the size of float, that is 8 bytes, and it is declared using the keyword double. Example, double a equals to 2.0. Now for storing characters, we have a character data type. If its size is of 1 bytes, which is equivalent to 8 bits, and it is used using the keyword char, and it is declared as char variable name, and within single quotes we insert the character which we want to store in the variable char. Now the last primary data type that we will study is the void data type. Void, as we know, that it means null, that is no value. That is, void is basically does not returns any value, and it is generally used with functions that do not return any value. The void it is declared using the keyword void, and suppose we have a function named fun which does not returns any value, so we have used the keyword void with the function fun. Now, oh, that's all for today. This is a brief description of the primitive data types. Primitive data types, integer, float, they are of signed and unsigned types also, which we will discuss in the next lecture. Uh, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and thanks for a valuable time, and thanks for watching.